I wash away in your river of gold. I'm losing days.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we are going to be doing a review on the Gemini palette by Melt Cosmetics. I have it right here. I am going to do this look for you guys really quickly in a voiceover just so you can see the shadows in action. And yeah, if you want to see how I got this look and if you want to hear my thoughts on this palette, then just keep on watching. Hello my lovelies! So for today's video, we're going to be using the Melt Cosmetics Gemini palette. So I'm going to start out by taking the shade Mochi, cutest name ever, and as you guys can see right here in this clip, it is insane pigmentation. So it deposited a lot of color, which I was not prepared for, so I'm going to spend a good amount of time blending it out, making sure all the edges are really buffed and faded, and creating the type of shape that I want for this look. The next step, I'm going to go into the shade Lorelei, which is a beautiful mustard color, and I'm going to focus this on the inner 1/3 of my crease. And then I'm going to take the shade Fire OG, love that name, super, super, super cute. I'm going to focus this in the deepest part of my socket. And this is really just going to give some definition to the whole entire look. I really want that green shade to kind of just come up and fade into the crease shades. And I really like this precise brush for doing this because it literally sits right in my socket. I'm going to take some concealer, and I really like the Kat Von D because it's thick and it really just allows me to glide along my lid and just cut out my entire lid in a circular shape. I'm going to take the shade Lorelei, which is a beautiful metallic shade. I tried using it wet and it actually works better dry. It's one of those more like flaky, chunky metallics, but it has absolutely no fallout when you pack it on with a synthetic brush. It's gorgeous. I absolutely love it. And then what I'm going to do is take the black shade Bonnie, and I'm going to use an angled brush and just stamp it across the line that we created, and I'm going to actually flick it up toward the brow after I've lined it to kind of just fade it out. I'm going to go back in with that really tiny fluffy brush and just kind of fade it into the crease colors. And then I'm just going to take some, black eyeliner and go across my lid and then meet it up with the black. No wing, I just kind of wanted to give some definition and hide the lash band. I'm using Hollywood by Lily Lashes. Such gorgeous lashes. They are absolutely one of my favorites. Super fluffy, super like glam and gorgeous. Then I'm going to take some brown eyeliner and use the shades Polka Dot and Cupcake to smoke it out, and that's our finished look. Okay guys, so this is the look that I came up with. I'm really proud of myself for stepping outside of the box because I was honestly just going to do like a greeny smoky eye. That's what was like calling me. But then I was like, let me do something a little bit more intricate. Let me challenge myself, and I am so happy with the way this turned out. Halfway through, I feel like on these type of looks, you're just like, oh crap, what did I do? I just completely messed myself up, but I'm really, really happy with the way this turned out. So this is the Gemini palette. So this is what we're going to be reviewing today. This is the only thing that I use for my eyes, and this is also the first product that I've ever purchased from Melt. I also purchased along with this the Melt Cosmetics Dark Matter stack. So these are the first two products I'm ever trying from them. But today we're going to be reviewing the limited edition Gemini palette. So this is what the unit carton looks like. It has Laura's photos all over them. I know this is what she released for her birthday, and again, it is limited edition. I got it on the pre-sale, I think it's what it's called, and it came in very quickly, actually, within like 3 or 4 days. And yeah, I absolutely love this. I think it's super her, like just different pictures of her friends, her pregnant, which is so beautiful. She's such a pretty pregnant lady, and I was gonna say pretty pregnant person, but yeah, I think this is really, really cute. And then this is the packaging of the actual palette. So it just says Gemini, and then it has these really beautiful like orangish roses everywhere. Really beautiful, super like simple but still like eye striking. And then when you open it, it's actually very long if you look at it. I thought it was a lot smaller than this, especially like the promo pictures that they were posting. It just didn't look like it was this big. Like the pans didn't look this big. So this is what it looks like. It reminds me of one of the old school like Kat Von D palettes, like the shape of the eyeshadows. I really, really like them because they're long. They're really easy to like swipe your brush in, but not skinny enough to where you're like worried about picking up the other color next to it. So there's 10 shades. There is 5 like neutrally warm tones, and then 4 on the like green mustard side, and then 1 black. So I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of the colors. Wow, I used a lot. So I used 8 of the colors, and what I can say from this palette so far, just by trying this only and my first initial opinions of Melt Cosmetics, is that their eyeshadows are amazing. Like, literally, they are so pigmented, but not pigmented to where there's like really gross like powder flying everywhere. I know a lot of people don't mind that, but to me it's just like such a hassle because I'm already messy as it is. So with powder and eyeshadow flying everywhere, it just causes more of a mess for me, and I'm like not a big fan of that. So I am in love with this so far. I think that, you know, when I first looked at it, I wasn't like drawn to it per se, but I thought this was a really great way for me to try Melt eyeshadows because I've heard nothing but good things about them. So what I did want to mention was that the Gemini eyeshadow, which is this what I have all over my lid today, I used it dry because I wanted to see how it would work, and I like for sure thought I was going to have to use like some Fix Plus or something, but that is literally how I applied it the entire time. Like I used it completely dry, and then I was like shook. Like, I'm so shook at that this is the payoff that it gives. You don't need to wet your brush when it comes to these metallic shadows. It looks like Goals, which is the shimmery green one, is like the same formula, so I'm hoping that it has the same color pigmentation. The mattes are incredible. I am so obsessed with them. They blend really easily. They're super pigmented. What I would say though is if you're not like experienced with like blending and really like crazy colors, then I would just pick up a teeny bit at a time because it can get a little bit overwhelming when it deposits a lot of color down. But I did that a couple times, but for me it wasn't that hard because I could just go back in with a bigger fluffy brush and just blend everything out, and it blended out really seamlessly. So I'm really happy with that. The one thing that honestly stands out to me about this palette, which I honestly it caught me by surprise, is this black. Like, it is literally the blackest black I have ever used in my entire life. And not only that, it blends so nicely without losing like the blackness. Because I know like sometimes when I put down a black shadow and I'm doing like a smoky eye or something and I want to darken up the outer corner, I'll go in, really pack it on, and then blend it out with a different brush, and it gets like almost a gray tint to it that it just loses like the blackness that I really, really want. And this does not do this. So honestly, the black color is like a standout color for me. I am obsessed with it. It's so smooth. It literally is like almost as black as a gel eyeliner. So I'm really, really excited to play with this even more. So this eyeshadow palette was $58. It's a little bit of a higher price tag than what I'm normally used to paying for palettes. I normally pay like around the 48 range, so this was like about $10 more, but honestly, I don't regret it. I just think these eyeshadows are really, really great from my first impression. I think it's also because I created like one of my favorite looks ever that I've ever done on my channel, so I think that's what helps. But again, like, I wouldn't have been able to do it with such ease if it wasn't for the good quality of the shadows. Okay, so I wanted to compare the Kat Von D palette to the Melt palette. So as you can see, they are the same shape, but the Kat Von D Shade and Eye is a little bit smaller in length. So you are gonna get more product with the Melt palette. I kind of also wanted to mention that Melt does not have a pro discount program. I know for me as a makeup artist, and a freelance makeup artist at that. I have to buy my own supplies, so I like to know if a brand offers like a pro discount program or something like that, and as of my knowledge, Melt does not. I'm hoping that they do in the near future, because I know that the owners were once freelance makeup artists and kind of still are, so I'm hoping that they will, you know, come out with that in the near future. Okay, so overall, my thoughts on this palette is that it was completely worth my money. These shadows are really, really great. They are kind of unlike anything that I've ever really like tried before. They're not as creamy as Anastasia, but they're not as like dry as the Lime Crime shadows. They're like right in the middle, and they blend really nicely. They have amazing pigmentation, so I'm really excited to play with the Dark Matter stack, and I can't wait to experiment more with their products. So I hope this review was really helpful for you guys. They said this palette was limited edition, so I wanted to get this up as soon as possible, because I know that I believe June 2nd is, 1st or 2nd is when, no, today's 1st. I believe June 2nd or 3rd is when the palette actually launches, so you're able to buy it. So hopefully this will help you make a decision. I love you guys so, so much, and thank you for watching.